All right, the wait is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally here. The 2024 NFL season is upon us. I picked all 272 regular season games. I'm breaking things down division by division, team by team, what you can expect from the upcoming NFL season. And of course, we will be 100% correct on all of these predictions. There will be no misses on this show. Over halfway done now with the league. We're going into the NFC South now. We just did the AFC East. Interesting division, 2 straight years without a double-digit win total division champion. This has kind of been the make fun of division in the NFL, but let's just hop into it. Can we break the streak? Can somebody get double-digit wins this year? Let's start with your defending champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, 9-8 and a division championship for the Bucs last year, and a beatdown of the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card round, and really played a good game against the Detroit Lions, who maybe should have been the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. So an all-around really successful season for Tampa Bay the first year without Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield gets re-signed. He's staying in put. Now, this team was kind of, like I said, nothing special. 9-8, another single-digit division winner team out of the NFC South. But they really started to shape up down the stretch. Now, they are having some losses on the defense. They lose Shaquille Barrett. They lose Carlton Davis. They lose Devin White. I know Devin White is a hotly contested person in Tampa Bay, but they bring back my man Winfield, which was a big help. The secondary was kind of abysmal last year. They were really good at stopping the run and really bad at stopping the pass, but a lot of teams in the NFL are bad at stopping the pass. Looking at the offensive side of the ball, you pretty much have the same pieces. You brought back Baker Mayfield. You still have Mike Evans. You still have Rashad White. You still have Chris Godwin. It's essentially the same offensive team. Now, the offensive line's a little bit shuffled up a bit. The big free agent ads were all on the defense. You get Bryce Hall, you get Randy Gregory, you get Jordan Whitehead to bolster up that back end and that pass rush where you lost. They drafted an offensive lineman in the draft to help with that shuffling around. I think this is just going to be an okay team. Todd Bowles is kind of a whatever head coach to me. He doesn't jump off the page. I think Baker really when people doubt Baker, that's when Baker's great. But when people believe in Baker, he's not great. He struggles with it. And I think there's a little too much belief in Baker right now. Everybody's another year older. Mike Evans in particular, maybe the streak finally ends, but I wouldn't bet against that. Mike Evans, 1,000 yards every season. So he's pretty much automatic. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball well. They were really inefficient running the ball last year. They played some really good run defenses, in particularly early. Had a lot of close wins, comeback wins, that Baker non-belief effect. I think you lose the close games this year. Things kind of tend to even out. The division, I don't know if it's better, but I think Atlanta's probably better than they were last year. Carolina's a little bit better than they were last year. I think this is just kind of a little bit of a step back for Tampa Bay. I got them going 8-9, missing out on the playoffs. Nothing to shake your, it's just kind of, there's not a lot of juice on this team. I think Baker takes a step back. I think the offense is just a little older. I think the defense is all right. Let's see what Todd Bowles can do. But again, I don't feel any heat from Todd Bowles. But then again, he coached the Jets, and it seems really tough to coach the Jets. So maybe I should give Todd Bowles a little bit more credit. And he got this team to overperform in the playoffs last year. But 8-9 for the Buccaneers and kind of a step back in 2024. Okay, the Atlanta Falcons finally, thank you. Arthur Smith is gone. This is easily the most frustrating football team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to watch with all those weapons and all that little production. 7-10 last year. You bring in new head coach Raheem Morris out of LA, who was probably over his skis when he got his first head coaching job almost a decade ago. He's taken a step back, filled in that coordinator role, been with the Rams for a while. I think he's ready to rock and roll. I love this hire. I think he's going to be an excellent head coach now. But the big thing is they went out there, they spent the money, they got Kirk Cousins at quarterback. When you had Desmond Ridder being your quarterback the last 2 seasons, and Ridder can't even make an NFL roster anymore, it just tells you how awful this team was at the quarterback position. You bring in Cousins, he's old, he's coming off of a torn Achilles, but he should be ready to rock and roll week 1. And all you need is average Cousins play. Even if he takes a little bit step back, that's more than good enough for this offense. You have Bijan Robinson entering year 2. They're going to figure out a way to get him the ball. Drake London is a solid number 1 wide receiver. And could we finally see Kyle Pitts? I've been waiting 3 years for Kyle Pitts, the tight end, to show up. Could we finally see it? Kirk Cousins loves throwing to tight ends. Factor in, they also traded for Matthew Judon to help shore up that defensive side. They really needed some edge rush help. They lost Bud Dupree. this wasn't a great defense at all. It was kind of mediocre to bad most of the time. They desperately need a pass rusher. One of the worst pass rushing defenses in the league. So they got to find a way to get after the quarterback. Don't love what they did with the draft, drafting Michael Penix. He can't play for you. Like, future terms, that could be a positive, but unless Cousins gets hurt or he really isn't ready, Penix isn't going to play this year. So you're not helping your team that feels like you're in a win now mode in Atlanta, trying to get this division done. And the big question is, can they finally get over the hump, and can they get good enough and consistent play out of Kirk Cousins and this offense to get the job done? And the schedule's a little tough early. They might start off slow, but I think all in all, we're in for a good season in Atlanta. I got the Falcons going 10-7, taking home your division championship. Finally a team in this division is going to get double-digit wins. I'd bet the under for essentially everybody else in this division, but I think Atlanta's going to do just enough. They're going to be locked in as your 4 seed pretty much forever. 10-7, maybe they go 9-8 because they don't have to play that last game and they're resting their guys. Penix gets a game in there. I think I could easily see that. But I think all in all, 10-7 for the Falcons, a division championship, and probably a one and done in the playoffs. But it'll feel like a successful season for Atlanta because they've just been struggling mightily to find themselves back in the playoffs. All right, before we get into the second half of this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every day. Share this video with your friends. Helps us out in the algorithm. Get this video out there. Really helps me out a lot. And if you want to go see one of these NFC South teams in person, or any team for that matter, check out SeatGeek.com. Use code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. Let's hop in to the second half of the video. Okay, Carolina 2-15 last season, the worst team in the NFL. And for their rewards, they got absolutely nothing. They get a new head coach in Dave Canales, looking like potentially maybe making one of the worst trades in the history of the NFL for Bryce Young. It's not Bryce Young's fault, but maybe it is a little bit. You have the worst owner in the NFL in David Tepper. I don't think this franchise is really ever going to be successful with him in charge. He's an emotional child. He's throwing drinks on people. He can't have, he just micromanages everything, and you can't have that. He has no idea what he's doing. Hopefully, Canales can step in and fix some things. He has been the quarterback whisperer. Fixed Geno Smith 2 years ago. Took care of Baker last year. Can he do the same for Bryce Young? This team is significantly better than they were last year because they were the worst team in football. They were not talented. They lost guys. You lost Brian Burns, maybe the only talented person on that team. But they do replace Jadeveon, bring them in Jadeveon Clowney. They bring in Jordan Fuller. They bring in some offensive line help. Most importantly, they brought in Deontay Johnson to be the #1 wide receiver. Now, Pittsburgh fans aren't a huge fan of him. He's frustrating, picks up injuries, drops the ball sometimes. I think this is just going to massively help. They also attacked the skill positions in the draft. They drafted wide receiver Xavier Leggett. They drafted Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. Now he's going to miss the first 4 games on the pup, but he's potentially going to take over as the starting running back very, very soon. Jatavion Sanders, tight end. I like him a lot too. Always get a good tight end for your young quarterback. Helps him out tremendously. I mean, I don't think the Panthers are going to be good. Let's just be honest. They're going to be bad. The defense is bad. The offense is bad. But they're going to be better than last year. They're just going to be better than they were last year. And that's all you can ask for as a Carolina fan. Now, could they be picking at the top of the draft again? Probably. I don't even know if they own their pick. Chicago probably owns their first-round pick. So you got to try and win games if you're Carolina to get out of this because, I mean, oh, God, what a disaster. So I do have the Panthers doubling their win total. I got the Panthers going 4-13. So that's the positive news. The bad news is it's going to be another long season, and I don't know how the Panthers find their way out of this hole. Bryce Young probably shows improvements this year, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get everybody jumping for joy that Bryce Young is going to be an elite franchise quarterback. Could he be good enough to be a franchise quarterback? I think that's definitely still on the table. But all in all, it's going to be a really, really long season for Panthers fans. Finally, my least favorite team in this division, the New Orleans Saints, 9-8 last year. Who dat gonna beat them Saints? Everybody gonna beat them Saints this year. I think the Saints are going to be in for a world of hurt this year. Dennis Allen, the favorite in Vegas to be the first head coach fired. Now, he is a fellow Aggie, but man, Dennis Allen is a terrible head coach. And the combination of him with Derek Carr, who is easily the least liked person in New Orleans. I mean, the way the Saints fans hate Derek Carr is honestly quite impressive. They cannot stand him. Now, they did add some good pieces in the draft. I felt like they added Talisi Fuaga. He's going to play guard. He's awesome. I liked him out of Oregon State. Cooley McKinstry, everybody loves. He's not an elite shutdown corner, but he's a good corner. He adds that special teams game. But they also drafted quarterback Spencer Rattler, and this is where things can get interesting. Rattler had a very solid preseason. If Carr throws a pick six in a game that's down 3-0 and the Boo Birds are raining down and Dennis Allen is feeling his job coming, maybe Spencer Rattler gets the nod in at quarterback. I just think this is going to be a dysfunctional team. The defense is, better a little bit. They finally moved on from Michael Thomas on offense. I always love getting rid of Slant Boy. But they brought in Chase Young. They brought in Willie Gay. Cameron Jordan's healthy. He is getting old. He's pretty old, man. But he is healthy out there. So the defense should be okay. They were good last year. You still have Alvin Kamara, but running back's getting up in age. I just don't know what you can get out of him. They do like Kendre Miller, the other running back. Could be a surprise guy, especially in fantasy, to pop up into the scene. Chris Olave is still a very good number one wide receiver, but I just think all the pieces together do not work. This team's kind of a dysfunctional mess, and they're paying the Pied Piper, man. They sold their souls to the devil to win that Super Bowl in 2009, and now bad things are just happening to this organization and this franchise. So I think the Saints struggle. I think Dennis Allen is the first head coach fired. I think they get a little boost when they go interim head coach. I got the Saints going 6-11 on the season. Really kind of a tough time all around for the Saints. I just don't think I can see anything good from them. I pretty much hate this division overall. I take the under win total, like I said, for everybody but the Falcons, and I could see the Falcons only getting 9 wins. I think it's another struggling year for the NFC South, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who am I too high on? Who am I too low on? Is Tampa Bay going to go for 3 straight, or the Falcons destined to win this terrible division? Maybe the Saints fans are going to just come yell at me and tell me how they're winning 11 games this year, and Derek Carr is terrible, but Spencer Rattler will become the GOAT instantly. But let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, drop a quick like in this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to support the channel more, sign up for a channel membership. You get all sorts of cool perks, access to exclusive content, help support me directly, allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.